Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of El Cafecito. My name is Aaron Espinoza. I'm an Inclusion and Engagement Leader with the Multicultural Office. With us today, we have RamsPlus President, Victoria Van Tuil. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. We're working.
Dealing with the rain okay?
Yeah, I love rain.
Awesome. All right, cool. How has school been for you being back so far?
It's been pretty chill. You know, as an art major, it's a little weird having a couple classes online, but you know, it works. It's just like taking videos of my projects and sending them to my professors. So that's cool.
That must be right. I know I don't like, I've done my best to like adapt, but like I like, for someone like you, how like, I mean, it must be that much harder. So I feel for you.
Yeah, it's all right.
Do you think aliens exist?
Yeah.
Most definitely.
It is kind of selfish to think that they don't.
I know. I think see, I have an irrational fear of aliens, more so like the, you know, like the traditional gray aliens. I don't know why they like frighten me.
They're freaky.
They are, but like, I think I'm more afraid of the idea that we might be alone. That scares me more than anything else.
Just a little bit, yeah.
What fictional character do you identify with the most?
Bilbo Baggins.
I'm for it. All for it.
Love him. Yeah, that was a little hard, but you know, had to narrow it down.
Yeah, that is a hard one because it's like you think of all the things that you like, and it's like, why do I have to just pick one? Why can't I just be like?
Exactly.
Are there any apps on your phone that you can't live without?
Spotify.
Yeah, for me it's
That's music.
Yeah, the music app for me it's probably YouTube Music. Or it's like I got it when like they were offering like the student discounts. It's like $2 a month for me.
Oh, that's nice.
What interesting hobbies do you have, if any?
Well, I've always just kind of been into drawing, but over quarantine, Rye really got me into plants. Kind of taking over my house.
I think that's a good addiction though. My best friend's the same way. She's like, I keep buying plants, but I have nowhere to put them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I would buy plants too. I don't have the window space to accommodate them, and I would be really upset if they died.
I've been really struggling because it's different down here than my house back home.
What do you love most about RamsPlus?
Mainly the atmosphere that we create in the meetings. You know, like every meeting you get there and it's so chaotic and everyone's just like vibing together, you know, and you just feel like you can be yourself, and that's just always been my favorite thing. It's been like that since I've started going.
That's awesome. I love that, like that the atmosphere of like it's chaos, but it's happy chaos, right?
Exactly.
All right, we're gonna do a 30-second challenge. With these, you just try your best to answer them as quick as possible. They're not head spinner questions, so they're not hard to answer, so no worries. Are you a morning person or a night person, and why?
Morning, because it's just so still before everyone wakes up, and like you can watch the sunrise. And when I'm home, I really like going on morning hikes.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, it must be. What part of Colorado are you from?
Colorado Springs. My mom lives like right at the foot of Pikes Peak.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. What's the most ironic thing you've seen happen?
Well, I was explaining this earlier, but it's just like how, so in the Colorado, it doesn't snow on Christmas. It always snows on Easter. So like whenever we get a snowy Christmas, we're like, oh, what the heck?
I would have never thought that would be a thing. It's like, it's crazy how much that like climate is different, you know?
Yeah, like we get snow days in March and April all the time up there.
That's crazy. That's all. That must be awesome. I'd love that.
Love it.
What is the most out of character thing you have ever done?
Running for president of this club.
Why is that?
Because I'm not really a people person. I tend to be more introverted. You know, doing all of this stuff is very much not me.
Out of place. Well, from my opinion, you're doing very well.
Thank you.
I would not have known you're more partial to as an introverted person. Doing a great job. Uh, in 3 words, describe yourself.
Okay, I had to consult my friends on this one, but they came up with loyal, chaotic, and creative.
I like those 3. I like that's cool. It's like it's got like your cornerstone of loyalness, but it's also got like yeah, she's like a good chaotic and good, right? I love.
Yeah.
If magic was real, what spell would you try to learn first?
Teleportation. I've done the 12-hour drive home way too many times. But to be able to get there.
Just like snap of your fingers, you're home. Just
Yeah,
you wouldn't have to take off so early. You wouldn't have to like worry about stopping and getting gas. You'd save so much money going everywhere.
oh, so much money. And then having to fix my car because of the trips.
Uh, for me, I don't know. I'd be a hard one. There's so many. Like,
Yeah.
what is the best advice you have specifically for first generation students?
You make a schedule. You know, it's just like it just getting into that routine of doing something. You know, don't just wing it. You know, just try and go to sleep at the same time, or it is mainly that, just keeping a schedule together. Because if you just wing things, then you're more likely to procrastinate. You're more likely to, especially with online classes, forget that you have.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keeping the schedule.
For me, I need to take that advice too sometimes because adapting to online, you definitely have to like discipline yourself and like tell yourself sit down and like watch your lecture or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. Do your schoolwork.
Exactly. Uh, what game have you spent the most hours playing?
Oh, this was a hard one. Okay, so I think it's a tie between Dragon Age Inquisition and Red Dead Redemption 2 because they're both such gorgeous open world games, and no matter what you play, you'll always find something new.
I really enjoy open world games. I enjoy like linear progression games as well, but like for open world, I'm more of like a sci-fi person. I always wanted to get like into the fantasy aspect, but mine's more like Fallout and the Outer Worlds and things like that, Star Wars. So
Those games are really fun too. It's just like being able to just go out and explore for me while also like going with the quests, you know.
yeah, and I'm so much a person that's like I like to beef up on the side quests before I hit the boss. It's like I'm supposed to be intimidated by this boss, but let's
I
just
just killed a dragon over there. Like, come at me.
I'm not afraid of you. um, Another 30-second challenge. What would you say is your guilty pleasure?
Pumpkin spice lattes.
I think we should unstigmatize pumpkin spice lattes, right?
Yep.
And let's just all agree that we, at least to a certain extent, enjoy them.
Right? You know, it's always weird when I order them and the guy calls it out at Starbucks and everyone just kind of like, I'm like, let me get.
don't, don't shame me. What's it like coming from Colorado to study here at ASU?
It was a little bit of a culture shock. Y'all do things a little bit differently down here. I've adapted, as you can see me using y'all every 2 minutes, but you know, like back home, we use the mountains to tell compass. There are compass for like that. And not having that, I still mess up. And then the weather.
The weather, oh yeah, just out of whack. In Colorado, was it more like you can kind of predict what it's going to be like all the time?
Not as much, but it gets cooler, so that's what I'm used to. You know, like we start hot days, but because of the elevation and it's so dry up there, it's a different kind of heat, and it's more
What is your best childhood memory?
Camping. We always used to go out camping for weeks at a time. It was great.
The only time I've had like a true like mountain and pine wood camping experience was actually I mean, maybe about an hour away from Santa Fe, New Mexico, and it's amazing. And like I've been to Colorado as well, and like the Rockies there, it's amazing.
Mhm.
I would encourage everybody to like go visit or like have a true camping experience.
Exactly. Yes.
What is your biggest phobia?
Spiders. 100% spiders. I can't even look at dead ones. If I know one is in the room, I will freak out.
For me, it's just like if I can see it, it's less scary. But if it's gone and I don't know why it's gone, it's that like in the back of my head, it's gonna get inside my ear or something. I'm like, kill me.
I even know it's in the room. I'm like, get it out of here, please.
You're in here, you gotta burn the house down now.
Pretty much.
What do you think students interested in RamsPlus should know?
Well, we meet every Thursday evening at 6 about, and usually I'd like, hype everyone to come and whatnot, but because of COVID, we're having to have people sign up for meetings, and we have a big room, but it's still big seating. We can only seat like 30 people. And so, but if you're still interested, just email me and I can add people to the group me so that they can sign up for meetings if there's room, type of thing. We're figuring it out. We only have 3 officers this year, so.
I mean, by all means, y'all are doing great given the circumstances and like how limited you guys are. So,
Figuring it out.
What are some tips and tricks you picked up as a college student?
The schedule thing, mostly. So, keeping my stuff organized. Like as an art student, thankfully they have lockers in the department that we can utilize and keep all our supplies on campus, so we're not carrying it back and forth because we got huge campuses and stuff. But even then, with my non-art classes, just keeping a notebook for each class, keeping your stuff together, not letting these folders.
I can't. You art students don't get enough credit, whether it's theater arts, music, and in your case, art.
Yeah.
You guys don't get enough credit. Like I could give you like my tips and tricks on how I study, but it's like it's an entire different world for you guys, and I have so much respect for you.
Thank you. It's interesting.
What is something you think everyone should do at least once in their life? Travel.
Going out of your comfort zone into a place that's completely different from where you are. You learn new things, and it's cool to see places that are not your hometown. It helps.
I wish I had, well, I mean, of course, maybe that will change, after we graduate, move on, become functioning adults.
Maybe.
I had the pocket money to support a wanderlust that I have.
Exactly. It's a little hard.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay. Very serious question. I'm going to have to ask for the utmost respect for this question from you. Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Victoria.
Specifically chocolate chip pancakes.
Okay. I can agree with that, but I'm partial to waffles. Waffles are just toasted pancakes. They're better. Honestly, I have to disagree with you. Waffles are better. Well, but we'll be civil. I'll take your pancake answer.
It's all good.
What song hits you with a wave of nostalgia every time you hear it? Or songs?
Well, I want to, answer Africa by Toto because my dad used to play it all the time when I was a kid. But now that everyone's been playing it so much recently, it doesn't as hard. So I'd have to change my answer to like anything that was on Guitar Hero because we played that so much. So like any of those songs they play, and I'm just like, what the heck?
So I just rewatched like a lot of like old cartoons I watched growing up. I actually like went through like a watch through a regular show on Hulu, and they have a bunch of the like those like nostalgic songs, and like I heard "Through the Fire and the Flames." It's
Oh
one of
my
the
goodness.
yeah, it's such a great song. It's like, why is this so familiar? And I was like, then I started remembering like playing it on Guitar Hero as a kid. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
so cool.
struggling.
uh, what would you say is Rams plus philosophy?
Mainly just having a community and a safe space for people in the LGBT community who don't otherwise feel like they can have that, especially here. That's also part of my culture shock is the community here is a little bit different, not as open, and that's what we're here for. And we really just, if you can show up and feel like you can be yourself and make a friend, even if it's one of us officers, just that's all really that would make us happy, is just having that place for people to come and friends.
That's amazing. I really like that about you guys, that you're offering that. I would like to say, I lost my train of thought. I had an exact answer to that. That atmosphere of love and acceptance, for, maybe students feel anxious about, and I think that's awesome. Like, especially coming from like why you wanted to be a part of it because of that cultural shock. That's amazing. I lost my spot. What movie universe would you choose to live the rest of your life in?
Middle Earth, but specifically the Shire, because living among the hobbits, you get to eat 7 meals a day. You don't have to wear shoes. It's just,
I like just that specific area. I don't think anywhere. I think I'd be a little bit too,
I don't know, maybe like Erebor with the dwarves, but that's a big man.
Yeah, a big baby.
Only if Thorin Oakenshield was there.
What are some clever examples of misdirection you've seen before?
Oh, well, this one confused me a little bit, but you joked about that thing with Toph in the show, Avatar: The Last Airbender, where she was like tricking the people with those games, and that's like I could not think of anything else.
Honestly,
We're gonna go with that.
if I was a blind earthbender, I would use it to misdirect people who deserve it anyway.
Yeah, right? Like they think, oh, I'm so like I'm blind, I can't do anything, and then Toph is just like, nah.
Your money now because I can see you through vibrations.
Yes.
All right, truth or dare?
Truth.
What is one thing you would never do, even if someone offered you all the money in the world?
Go to Florida.
Or uh, we will come back to that, and it'll be like that commercial. It's like, we'll be right back. All right. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Oh, that's a really hard one because I never look forward that much, especially with this pandemic that hit us, But I really want to use my degree to go into like children's book illustration. And, as long as I'm in a nice house, like not even nice, just like a house that's livable with my dog, that's all I care about.
Like home is where you make it kind of thing. Would you stay in Texas or like move back up to
I
Colorado?
kind of want to go somewhere that has nice cold winters and mountains. So.
Maybe back to Colorado. Gotcha. What would you say is your personal motto?
I saw this one once on my mom's Facebook, and it just, this was like a couple years ago, and it just said, just say yikes and move on. I was like, yep.
2020 right there. That's 2020's motto. My favorite is just like, oh, I follow all these like, they're like moving gifs of phrases. It's like one was like this like vaporwave 80s theme, and it just had like yikes, and that one's got to be my favorite.
That's
What
it right there.
Yeah, what brand would you say you're most loyal to?
Clothes I don't pay attention to, but I very religiously wear Converse and like bangs. Those are like the two shoes.
See, Converse is, I think Converse is just something that's never going to go out of style. It goes with everything. It's just so staple.
Exactly. Especially you get like the black pair, high tops, low tops, doesn't matter. They match with like everything.
What would you say, or what's your haunted house story?
So when I was really little, we were camping, but we were in a log cabin this time because we were going. My dad used to work at a college, and we were playing hide and seek. And this cabin had like 3 floors, and we went down to the basement. And I was the seeker, and I'm sitting there like 5 years old. And my cousins put a face on this piece of toilet paper, and like it was pitch black, and they just like scared the crap out of me. And there were like wolves out that night, so it was a creepy night.
As a kid, it's crazy though, like how like active your imagination is as a kid. You can like see faces or see animals in like dark rooms and stuff.
Exactly.
What's your secret talent if you have one?
This isn't really a talent, but I do really well on long car drive. Like I have to drive home, and it's about a 12-hour drive, and I'm the only one. You know, it's just me and my dog in my car, so I just do it straight through and put in an audiobook, and I'm set.
I will zone out to like creepy pastas and scary stories when I drive home. Granted, it's not a 12-hour drive, but like I will forget where I'm at sometimes. I'm like, oh my, because I'm so into those stories. So like totally vibe with that. What's your favorite event on campus?
Oh, we missed it last year, but I love the drag rave.
Yeah.
Like so lively, and I look forward to every year, and I really hope that we can somehow have it this year.
Crossing our fingers.
Yeah.
When was the time you acted nonchalant, but were going crazy on the inside?
Anytime I've ever met like one of my favorite actors at a Comic-Con. And I want to use the specific example of David Tennant, because when I met him, I was so chill, and I was just like, hey dude, and you know, we got a picture, and he calls me like sweet pea, and he's like, it was a whole thing. And after I left, I cried for a good 10 minutes.
That's awesome. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, another very, very serious one. Definitely hard. Is cereal a soup? Why or why not?
Okay, I want to say yes, but I have so many friends that eat it without the milk because they don't really like milk. So then it's just closer to chips at that point.
How do they eat it then? Just dry?
You just eat it like chips, yeah, like dry.
I've met someone who eats it with water instead of milk. It was like, and like it's more like it wasn't so much odd that I was like, I wonder what it tastes like, and I was extremely disappointed.
It's just the milk adds like half the flavor.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, definitely hard. It's hard, and it's hard because people are like, well, soups are warm. I was like, that's not true. Not all soups.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's definitely a what is it? Brain turner, head turner? That's a hard one. All right. So we've come to the conclusion. Who would you like to nominate next for El Cafecito? It can be another student, staff, whatever.
I don't know. I mean, DJ might like it, you know, vice president of the club. They might be interested.
There you go. Sweet. Awesome. Okay. We're going to have to hit them up then and like tell them, you know, you're nominated. Kind of feel obligated to do it now.
I know, I feel bad. I'm like, oh.
I want to call on someone. All right. Well, thank you so much, Victoria, for, you know, being on with us today. It was great. Loved it.
It was good.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning into this edition of El Cafecito. Be sure to tune in next time. Bye.